if you could say your name and your job title for me.
To you or to the camera?
To me.
Okay. I'm Fern Overton. I'm Director of Affinity Daycare.
Perfect. So if you could just give me a bit of an overview about how you are involved with ON's rugby.
Of course, yeah. So my daughter plays for the under-14s and my husband is also their coach. We've been involved with ONs, I think this is our 4th season. So my daughter started off playing in the under-12s and then obviously she's moved up with the age groups, and then my husband decided to be a coach as well. And yeah, we're here every Wednesday and every Sunday, and yeah, it's just an amazing ONs family really.
That's amazing. Can you just tell me a little bit about kind of how sponsorships work within teams and just kind of what having a sponsor can bring to rugby?
Of course, and I mean it's even more important for girls teams to get sponsorship because rugby is still very male orientated, even though girls and women do tend to be better at the sport. Look at the World Cup results. So for me as a business owner and a mum and an ex-player, I used to play rugby when I was smaller, I just think we should be supporting it, and for me it means that they get decent kit, they get decent balls, we can give them decent tackle bags, everything they need to be set up for success that boys teams pretty much get given is extra harder for the girls to have that availability as well. So sponsorships are even more important.
And kind of from your sponsorship background and everything else, how would you encourage that we can continue marketing women's rugby, marketing it as an investment that is worthwhile, and kind of encouraging girls to get involved and continue playing?
It's like anything really, but I think because rugby is such a physical sport, I think there's still very much that stigma that girls and women shouldn't play. But you know, it's a different world now, and girls are strong, women are strong, and we need to encourage them to push themselves, and anything men can do, women can do as well. And yeah, it's just really important to give the girls something to have an outlet on. You know, we have a lot of neurodivergent girls that play for us because there isn't anything really out there that tests their mental strength, physical strength like a game of rugby does. And we see the difference in girls as a sponsor and as a mum from when they first start training with us to the confidence that it brings out in them, to the discipline it brings out in them. And I just think, you know, more outlets like this we should be pushing our girls to explore.
Anything else you really want to add about kind of what sponsorships brings, about anything else to do with kind of women's rugby that you feel like I haven't asked you that you wanted to mention? From kind of, or as well, you can talk about your oldest.
Yeah, so as a sponsor, I run Affinity Daycare and we provide day care for older people and people living with dementia. And for me to have Affinity sponsor the girls' rugby, intergenerational, you know, support and things like that are really important to me as well. So to have my oldies be involved with the girls is just incredible. You know, as a sponsor, it's not just about giving the team money to have kit, and it's not just about having our logo on their shirts and stuff. It's also about giving them a sense of community. And at Christmas, the girls come and do activities with the oldies in the day centre. When the Women's Rugby World Cup was here in the summer, we took our oldies to all of the activities and the events that were put on for the Women's Rugby World Cup. You know, I look after people that are from 60 all the way up until 104, and a lot of our ladies love rugby as much as our girls do now, but for them when they were younger it was completely forbidden and unheard of that they would ever play it. So for them to see how things have changed and to see the opportunities we're able to give our girls now, that's everything as well. And for the girls to know that they've got support from people that have lived it and haven't been able to play, that's just incredible to watch as well.
And how special is it kind of hearing that, like, even in our older generation's lifetime, we have seen such a growth and development in the game? Do you think it means a lot to them as well to kind of be like, you know, things they were trying to get involved in, have put in place, it is now paying off, and you can see it, like today we've had so many young girls playing rugby.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean to them?
Oh, it means everything. And for them to watch a game of rugby as well and see, you know, how diverse people look and how diverse people play. You know, you've got amazing people like Hannah Bottoman and Sarah Byrne. You know, they don't look like athletes that they used to look like when my oldies were younger. So for them to watch a game of rugby, and we did have them on in the day centre, and the women loved it and they were cheering through the TV. For them to see how things have changed, it's incredible. It's incredible. You know, if we're still changing people's opinions at 80 and 90 years old, then there's such a bright future for women and girls rugby, definitely.
And apart from asking you to say 3 words to describe rugby, is there anything else you would like to add that you think I haven't mentioned that you wanted to say, or anything else that you think is important to just kind of say?
I just think it's important to remember that we are equal and we should be treated equal in a sport that's male dominated. You know, results speak for themselves, and we brought home the World Cup this summer, and that was the biggest achievement for women's sport. You know, even for Ellie Kildunn to be nominated as Sports Personality of the Year, for her to be on there for her contribution to rugby as a woman in 2026 is just phenomenal.
Amazing. And then, 3 words to describe rugby for me.
3 words.
It's been really hard, everyone. Really
Without
struggled.
swearing.
Yes, if possible. If not, they swear and make the bloopers.
Noisy, very noisy. We love the noise, bring the energy. Yeah, noisy, energetic, and community, family orientated. You know, these girls are a family on and off the pitch, and that is just as special as well.
Incredible.
That's probably more than 3 words, wasn't it?
It doesn't matter. That is perfect.